Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is David, and in today's video, I'll be giving you a complete beginner-friendly guide on how to use HubSpot CRM. In the next 15 minutes, you'll have a very good idea of how to complete tasks such as importing contacts from Excel sheets directly into HubSpot, as you can see over here. We'll cover topics such as how we can edit our contacts. So for example, how we can change the lead status, how we can assign deals to a contact, how we can send notes and create tasks. I'll talk about how we can go ahead and actually create sales pipelines and deals so that they're all available to you over here for changing. Then we'll go ahead and cover how we can go ahead and set up custom lists based on certain criteria, like for example, unsubscribe contacts and things like that. And basically everything in between in terms of how we can create tickets, tasks, and how we can connect certain inboxes. So if all of that interests you, then stick around, subscribe, and let's get into today's video. So to get started, the first thing we're going to do is create a HubSpot account if you don't have one. I already have one, but I'll show you what the process is to create one. So there's a link in the description. Go ahead and click that link. Once you do that, you'll be directed to this page where you can go ahead and sign up and use HubSpot for free. Go ahead and press the Get Started for Free option. Once you do that, you'll be directed to this page where you can go ahead and create your free account. Go ahead and do that. Just put in your email and then I'll see you in the next step. Now, once you've entered your email, HubSpot will take us to this page where it's asking us a bunch of questions to help us better set up our dashboard. And then once you have all of this stuff done, just go ahead and give your company name. So I'll just call this Meta Media Tutorials. And then just press the next option. Go ahead and choose how many people in your company. Go ahead and put your company name and then press Create Account. So once you have that completed, HubSpot over here is just asking us to fill out some information to give us the best personalized experience. Again, you can just go ahead and put in whatever makes sense for you very quickly and just go through the process. I'm just going to go ahead and skip this and then skip this again for sample contacts because I'll show you how to do that. And then once we've done all of that, now we will be directed to HubSpot's dashboard where all of the work begins. So here we are, everyone. This is what the main dashboard for HubSpot looks like. Now on this dashboard, we can see on the left, we have all of the different settings like our workspaces, CRMs, our marketing-based tools, content, so on and so forth. Now this video will be focused on the CRM section, which is this section right here. So let's go ahead and see how we can navigate it. So the first sub-tab over here under CRM is contacts. So this is basically all of the contacts that you currently have for your particular business or service. So we can see right here, our contacts are divided into different columns, which we can go ahead and choose and modify. So let's say, for example, if I want to rearrange a particular column, let's say I want to put email after phone number, I can just go ahead and drag it and we can see I've rearranged it. And then I can go ahead and press this option to go ahead and customize exactly what columns I want to be shown. So these are the columns, for example, we have right here. I can go ahead and take away preferred channels. And then I can just go ahead and add in something like, let's say, industry. And now if I go ahead and press apply, we can see that right here, we have a new column, which I've selected. And I went ahead and removed an existing column. All right. So that's how you can go ahead and make a bunch of different changes. Now over here, you can go ahead and actually further make changes directly. So for example, I can just go ahead and put in a number right here, press apply, and then it will be basically applied to this particular contact. Similarly, if you go ahead and click on a particular contact, you will see all of the details regarding that contact. On the left over here, you have all of their basic information like their email. And if you want to, for example, have a phone number, their lead status, you can just go ahead and put all of that right here and look for it. And then in the center over here, you will just have basic activities of what's been happening with this contact. So for example, if you sent them an email, if you've called them, if you've changed their life cycle stage. On the right over here, you have the company that's associated to this contact, any deals, any tickets, if there's any payment information, all of that information will be on the right side. The next thing I want to talk about is if we go back to our CRM, let's go ahead and talk about how we can import contacts. So we can see right now we have 2 sample contacts, but I want to go ahead and actually add new contacts. Now, there's 2 different ways to doing this. You can go ahead and create a contact manually. This is a very straightforward process, right? You just go ahead and fill out all of the information over here in terms of your email, first name, last name, and just go ahead and put in all of this information. What I'm going to go ahead and show you right now is how you can import multiple contacts. So if we take a look at my Excel sheet over here, these are some dummy contacts that I want to go ahead and put into HubSpot, and I'm not going to make any changes to it. Basically, HubSpot is very, very good at taking all of the data that you have and then just making sure that it gets imported correctly into HubSpot and corresponding fields. So I'll show you how that's done. So we can go ahead and press the import option over here. I'm just going to go ahead and say I'll set up myself. And then I'm going to go ahead and say import from files. And then here, we're going to go ahead and choose start import. Then finally over here, it's asking us what kind of data is in your file. So in my particular Excel sheet, we have my name. So I'm actually putting in a contact and I'm even putting a company, right? So there's two main fields that I'm putting in, which I can just go back over here and say contacts and companies. So once you have all of that stuff set up, we can press the next option over here and just drag and drop that file I just talked about over here. So here we are, everyone. I went ahead and uploaded my file. And once it's uploaded, we're going to go ahead and press the next option. So once that's done, we'll be directed over here where we see all of our records being imported. Now we can see right here that HubSpot is telling us 10 errors found. Now don't be too concerned about this. This was done on purpose by me because I wanted to show you if you get this error, how you can fix it. So to go ahead and actually fix this, let's scroll down to where the error is, which is right over here. And HubSpot is basically telling us that for our column lead status, which is this column in our particular file, which we have not approached and approached, these particular values don't actually coincide with what HubSpot has. So we need to go ahead and map them. So we can press edit column values. We see not approached and approached. We can have a replacement value. For not approached, I can go ahead and choose, for example, open. And for approached, I can go ahead and choose attempted to contact. So these are basically mapping what we have in our Excel sheet to the fields that already exist in HubSpot, and we can press done. So now we can see we have a green checkbox and everything over here is set up. Now, one other thing over here, it says companies can't be imported. And it's basically saying properties required to create companies is company domain name and company name. So if I scroll down over here to where it says company, we have contact properties. Now, company over here should be associated to company properties. All right, so that's important to note. And then over here where it says choose or create a property, I'm just going to go ahead and choose company name. All right, so this one right here. So now I've basically set it up and everything is good to go, and I can go ahead and press the next option. And then I can just go ahead and have an import name. I can go ahead and press create a contact list from this import, and I agree everything's going to be good. I'm not going to spam people, and press finish import. So once we have that done, we can see right here it's saying import is in progress and it'll take a few minutes. And there we go. It took like 10 seconds. 10 new rows have been imported and new records have also been imported. Okay, so great. Now we have everything good to go. If I go back to my contacts and click over here, I should see all of my records and they're all available right here as we intended. Similarly, if I go to my companies, we should see 10 different company records. And again, we have our records right here. And then any change you want to make to these companies, you can go ahead and do. You can just go ahead and click it and then see all of the information similar to the contact. So this particular company has these contacts associated to it. If I go ahead and click on this particular contact, it's this company associated to it. So it basically links both of these different fields together. So once we have this understanding, the next thing I want to go ahead and talk about on this CRM section is deals and tickets. So let's go ahead and click deals. So in our deals over here, you can go ahead and figure out exactly how you want to map out the pipeline for your business. So right now, for example, we have our sales pipeline. I can go ahead and press edit pipeline. And basically, this is what our pipeline currently is. This is what, HubSpot has set up for us. We have appointments scheduled, which then goes to qualified to buy, presentation schedule, on and on until the last stage, which is closed won or closed lost. Now you can go ahead and delete stuff. You can go ahead and make changes to it. You can add a new stage, whatever you want to do. You can go ahead and set that up right here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it and keep it as is. But this is how you can go ahead and structure your pipeline however you want. And now once we have that understood, if we go back to our contacts over here, and let's just go ahead and actually make a change to one of these contacts. So I'm going to go to Chris Wilson. And under Chris Wilson, we're going to go to deals and press add. And we're going to go ahead and create a new deal for this particular contact. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that this particular deal is a qualified to buy deal for, let's say, 50,000. The creating date was today, 31st of March. The deal owner is myself. Deal type. So this is a new business. Priority, I can go ahead and set it to high. All right. So I basically set up this deal and press create. And once I've actually gone ahead and created it, I can go back now to my deals section. So if I go under deals over here, we will see this deal is available to us. All right. So that's how you can go ahead and map out the different deals and you can go ahead and filter out based on all of these filters once they're available to you. So once we have our deals set up, the next thing I want to talk about very quickly is tickets. So if there's particular things that you need to go ahead and resolve for certain clients or customers, you can go ahead and press create ticket. And again, just go through the process over here, right? So you can just call this test ticket, and you can go ahead and choose exactly for what. This is my support pipeline. Ticket status is new. And then over here, your ticket description, the source of exactly what this ticket is for, chat, email, phone, or form. I'm just going to go ahead and say chat. Priority, let's set it to high, and then press the create date for today. Okay, so I can just go ahead and press the create option. This is a ticket over here that is available for you to go ahead and resolve and take a look at. Now, the next thing I want to talk about over here is what lists are and how you can use them to segment your contacts. So let's say, for example, you want to create a list of contacts in specific that have a lead status that is open. So to do that, you can go ahead and add a filter. You can choose your contact properties. You can choose exactly which contact property. So in this case, it's lead status. You can go ahead and select it, and I can say, is any of open? So I'm basically telling HubSpot to find me all of my contacts that have a lead status of open, and it'll basically give me a preview of that. Now you can go ahead and add multiple filters. You can add and conditions. You can add a second filter. Let's say you want to filter by company name. You can do that too. You can go ahead and put that in here, and then it will basically add as a second filter. All right, so for now, I'll just keep this as is. So we just have this one filter of lead status is open, and then I can just go ahead and press review and save and press process. So now basically it's creating this list for me, and it will be available for me to always look at. And I can always just go back and see exactly who's part of this list. So we can see these are my 6 or 7 leads that are currently open. If I go back to my list over here, this particular list will be available now in a table format. So it's right here. I can just go ahead and rename it. Currently, I just called it unnamed, but you can call it whatever you want. So that's basically how you can go ahead and use lists. The next thing I want to talk about over here very quickly is your tasks. So here, basically, if you want to go ahead and create a specific task, you can do that very simply by pressing create task. You can go ahead and choose this to be a to-do task. Priority again is high. You can assign it to a certain team member or yourself. You can assign it to a particular contact or a company. So let's say, for example, I want to assign this to Chris Wilson. I can do that. And then I can just go ahead and, put in a due date. I can go ahead and put in a particular reminder, any notes, and then just go ahead and press create. So basically, whoever's assigned this and whatever associated contact you have will have this task put into it. So with that said, the next thing I want to talk about very quickly is this inbox option. So over here, you can go ahead and connect things like your Facebook Messenger, any forms on your website, any chatbots you have to your HubSpot CRM so that all of that information flows in. It's a very straightforward process. You just need to go ahead and select the tool and then just go through the steps. For example, with Facebook, you just need to connect your page and just go through some of the settings to then get all of your Messenger messages on HubSpot. All right, so I won't cover this too much in detail. You can do this yourself. And then the next thing over here is we have our calls option. Now, this is not a free option with the HubSpot free trial. You actually have to pay for it. But basically, if you pay for HubSpot, HubSpot gives you the ability to make calls directly from the CRM and then have all of those calls recorded so that you can play them back for potential leads and see exactly what's working and what's not. And to set up this and set up a lot of the other stuff, you can just go to contacts over here, and then you can select a contact like, for example, Chris Wilson. And let's say, for example, I want to call Chris. I could press this make a phone call option. And then over here, we can see that HubSpot is basically telling me I can go ahead and buy their plan for $20 a month. And with that, I can go ahead and use this feature where I can make calls directly on HubSpot. Okay, so that's why I'm not really talking about it too much. If I go back to the contact page right here, similarly, we can go ahead and actually add notes directly. So you can go ahead and put in a note for Chris William and any records associated to it. You can even go ahead and email people directly from HubSpot CRM. You just need to go ahead and connect your Gmail to HubSpot. It's a very straightforward process. I already have it done. You just go ahead and press connect and just follow the steps. Similarly, over here, you can even go ahead and set up your meeting Calendly link. So if you want to go ahead and have people schedule a meeting with you, you can just go ahead and actually choose your particular link. I've already gone ahead and created this. Again, very straightforward process. You just need to let HubSpot have access to your calendar. Once you have all of that set up, you should be able to do it like how I'm doing it over here, where people can just take this link and book a time with you. So with that said, everybody, that's pretty much it. That's how you can use the HubSpot CRM to manage your contacts, set up your sales pipelines, and create lists based on certain filters. I hope you found this video educational. If you did, then go ahead and press the like button and share it with your friends. And if you're interested in more content like this, then check out my channel. I make all kinds of cool tech tutorials that might be useful to you. On that note, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.